of faith is disturbing.
Believe it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Nichols. I'm here with Andrea Riccotti,
Hello.
and you're listening to Geeks Under Grace podcast, episode 447. And Cody's out this week, and he's out traveling, so be sure to let him know how much you miss him on Discord. This week, we are geeking out about Rockstar fighting hackers, GTA 6 user-generated content, and our favorite shows airing right now. This is, it's kind of a different week, so it's been a slow news week across the board. So we're going to shake it up a little bit at the end.
It's been very slow.
But,
Yes, very much.
yeah, I guess we can get started and go ahead and jump into the gaming news.
All right. So, there are some rumblings going on. This first one, and actually the first two news articles we have to do with Rockstar games. Now, Rockstar, everybody's looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6, of course, but just a while ago there was a hacker group that was able to access their data, right? And they swear that they will publish the stolen data online because their ransom demands have not been met. But the developers are not really concerned about this incident, and they say it'll have no impact on their development. And the deadline to submit to their ransom is actually tomorrow, which does not bode a lot of time. So I say good on for Rockstar for not giving in to demands, but we'll have to see what this data leak will look like if they do go through with releasing it. They it's a hacker group called Shiny Hunters. They use the AI analytics platform Anodot to monitor the tool that Rockstar uses to breach the data warehouse, posing as a legitimate internal service, which is kind of scary. So if you're in the tech business, that might be something you want to look into. They set a ransom deadline for April 14th, warning pay or leak, and they submitted the following statement. Rockstar Games, your Snowflake instances were comprised thanks to Anodot.com, pay or leak. This is a final warning to reach out by 14th of April 2026 before we leak, along with several annoying digital problems that will come your way. Make the right decision. Don't be the next headline. Final warning, pay or leak. So the spokesperson for Rockstar says that just a minimal amount of information was accessed and that there's really no need for concern for the organization or for players. So this may not be anything. It might be a nothing burger. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out more tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. I think it's gutsy for Rockstar to basically just stick it to them and be like, no, we don't care. You're not leaking anything important. There have been other instances in the past where studios have had information leaked and they've buckled and they panicked. Insomniac did a pretty good job when they got hacked, but they kind of went on damage control for a little bit. And but Rockstar seems like they're not concerned at all. So who knows? It'd be funny if they leaked like 4 hours of gameplay of GTA 6. It might end up being like one of the greatest marketing tactics. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really cool, actually. Like, that would bode well, but it's, we're not near the release date just yet, and it's been delayed so many times. So if if it were a marketing thing, it would probably be pushed towards the summertime, maybe. But I say good on Rockstar for not giving in and holding strong, because you don't want to give in to these demands, because then they'll ask for more and more and more, and that's never good. So I say good for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 6, rumors are suggesting that Grand Theft Auto 6 could lean heavily into user-generated content. Basically, there may be an open window for players to create their own mass-produced content that could be used in the game. I think this goes beyond what mods are, and just I think it's more more like what The Sims kind of does in their community right now. It's uh, basically letting the inmates run the asylum, so to speak. There might be some mixed feelings about this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I know in 2023 they bought the developers of 5M, and which I thought was really cool. I think the mod is still up. And for those who don't know what 5M is, it's a basically a series of roleplay servers for Grand Theft Auto 5, and it has its own launcher and everything. So you have to have the game owned, so you have to have a legal key. But then you download the launcher, and it's almost like downloading a new copy of the game. And
Mhm.
but basically, it's like you can be a police officer, you can be a gas station employee, like just it's like there's no NPCs, and so it's got like extended controls and emotes and but yeah, so they bought them in 2023, and I'm curious to see if maybe this is connected somehow.
It could be. I'm just a thought that just entered my mind because I don't know if you remember a game called The Stanley Parable, but way back in the early 2010s, I believe that game released as a demo from the Half-Life source code. So that could be, if creatives are able to use like from the source to create their own stories that could become future games. I think that could be an ingenious way for players to have a springboard for creativity, and in that way, I'd be supportive of it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm concerned that they might go the Fortnite route, and
Mm.
um it might cheapen the experience. I know some people really like Fortnite. Um, I'm not gonna say that it's not a good game. It's not my kind of game, and I know when they've done like user generated content, it just didn't feel that great to me. But that's my concern. But otherwise, yeah, I think it'd be
That's
great.
fair.
Like you said, if they could use it as a springboard. I think it'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah, and I love the Stanley Parable, so if we get games like that from Grand Theft Auto or, different types, that's awesome. Um, the other piece of, news that we have is, Epic is developing a Disney extraction shooter. Um, so Epic, speaking of Fortnite, um, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the characters that have been released in Fortnite have been Disney themed. So this kind of gives stake to that announcement. It's a Bloomberg report that states the currently unnamed spinoff is expected to launch this year, November 2026, but there's no official announcement just yet. It, as well as the other two unnamed titles, are said to be result of a 1.5 billion investment Disney made in the gaming giant back in 2024. So they invested in Epic Games, and this may result in something new in the works. According to the site sources, the mystery extraction experience is said to be a shooting game not unlike Embark Studios' Arc Raiders. Um, and those familiar with the Disney games say that some at Epic are optimistic that the project will stick the landing at launch. But there are some internal reviews that have expressed concern about the unoriginal game mechanics. So we'll have to see if there's a formal announcement for later this year. A Disney shooting game would be very interesting. I know in the past Disney has kind of shied away from that, but you know, Disney wants to make money, and Fortnite is insanely popular right now, and so is Arc Raiders. So I can't say I'm surprised by this. I will say that the idea of having Jiminy Cricket shooting a gun at people is a fascinating idea.
I hope he is life size, like real to scale size, like tiny. That would be so awesome. I feel like that was his ability, so he could sneak around easier. Um,
A giant cricket.
Maybe he could sneak for a little bit, but then occasionally he would like chirp when he was walking, so
Chirp,
make it balanced.
chirp.
I
Yeah, let your conscience be your guide.
This is, speaking of Fortnite content, I really feel like this should be a Fortnite mode, but it is what it is.
Didn't they have one at Fortnite for Lego, I believe? I think
Yeah.
Lego had a collaboration with Fortnite,
Yep.
yeah.
So why not do this? But I don't know. Disney, I guess, spent the money for an exclusive experience.
Yeah. Disney's a stronger brand than Lego is, although Lego is a very strong brand in itself. Disney, it's it's apples and oranges, but the apples are just a bit richer than the oranges are.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But that is it as far as gaming news goes.
All right, yeah. So that last article brings us straight into the movie news where Disney is blocking writers from using Mara Jade. So several writers that are working on novels for Disney for Star Wars have been asking to use Mara Jade, and they've been getting a very firm no. So that's kind of crazy to me. I know she's a fan favorite, and I'm sure there's a way they can make her canon, but they did kind of miss out not making her canon in the movies.
Yeah, I love the idea of Mara Jade because in the original canon, I believe she was raised by the Emperor to kill Luke Skywalker, but then they end up falling in love and she becomes a strong character on her own, and I think she's killed off in the books later on, but I know she's a very beloved character. And another character that I wish was be made into canon was Kyle Katarn from the game series, Jedi. What was it? Jedi Force Academy or something like that.
Jedi Academy. Yeah. Yeah.
Jedi Academy, yeah, he was fun. So him and Mara Jade, I wish they brought them over. I mean, some of the new canon characters are really fun, but I miss those 2 a lot.
Yeah, I know. I just really like the old Legends. Not all of Star Wars Legends was good, but there were so many good moments in it that Disney could have pulled from, but they just didn't. I think Dave Filoni is pulling some now with some of the new projects they're working on, but um
Mhm.
it's just too late for some of
Well, they
it.
brought Thrawn. They
Yeah,
brought Thrawn over. So, if they brought Thrawn, why not Mara Jade? Why not Kyle?
and I believe the new Mall show, which I think just aired, the first episode aired. Um, I've heard and read that there's speculation that it's inspired by George Lucas's original sequel scripts because they focused on Darth Maul.
Ooh.
So, um, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. Um, so it's like pulling those stories and connecting the original trilogy and Clone Wars and everything now. So, but yeah, that's it for that one, guys. If you like Mara Jade, I apologize. You're gonna be waiting a while longer before she's in any kind of media. Um, but yeah, so next up we have the Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. It's a new movie that apparently did in fact have a book, but the book released last year. So I guess my question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, did they go, here's a bunch of money to write a book because we're gonna make a movie? Or did they immediately buy the rights to this movie? um
I'll have to do some research on that.
it's like in the trailer link, it says The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping, screenplay is by Billy Ray. It's based on a novel by Suzanne Collins. But it's like the novel came out last year. That's almost not enough time to shoot a movie. But we'll see. Um, like it came out in March of last year. It's like been right at a year. That's a really fast turnaround. Um, but yeah, I mean it looks good. Did you have a chance to watch the trailer yet?
I haven't because I didn't even know it was out, but I'll have to watch it. I've been kind of out of the loop when it comes to Hunger Games. I think I haven't read the books honestly, and I think the last movie I saw was the first one all those years ago. So I'm really out of the loop, but I hope the movies have been doing the books justice. And yeah, the book only came out last year in 2025. And then I'm really wondering when the previous the Ballad of Songbirds and Song the Snakes. That book came out in 2020, so in between it took her 5 years to write the next book, which okay, that makes sense. Um, this is definitely Suzanne Collins' bread and butter, probably for the rest of her life.
You know what? That's great. I mean, if she enjoys it and she's passionate about it, then she's made bank and she's got it set. Um,
I think so. I think she is enjoying it.
I believe this is in fact a prequel. It's set 24 years before the events of Hunger Games, and I believe the main character is Haymitch, but he's real young, and I believe it's the story that he tells in the first movie. Um, it's really colorful. It's like almost like a 70s retro, 60s retro vibe. It's cool though. It looks great. I didn't watch the last one, but I'll probably go see this one. But yeah.
Do we know about the cast for it?
Yeah, it's stacked. Let me pull up the cast list because we've got um McKenna Grace, we have Joseph Zada, Maya Hawke, Jennifer Lawrence apparently is makes a cameo according to the cast list. Elle Fanning, Jesse Plemons, Ralph Fiennes, uh, Glenn Close, Josh Hutcherson. I'm curious why Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson are in this. Yeah, I mean it's stacked. You got Ben Wong from which he was recently in Karate Kid, I believe. Yeah, he was. So, yeah, crazy cast. Um, it's got a huge
That's
cast.
a really good cast.
Yeah, I can sit here reading them, but there's like it's too long to sit here and read. But if you guys want to look it up, it's a stacked cast. I'm excited for it. Um, but I'll tell you what else I'm really excited for. Paddington 4.
Paddington 4.
I've never watched those movies, but it got a green light, and so um there's gonna be another one. Congratulations if you like those movies.
I, s- I I saw the first two and I love the first two, but I haven't seen the third one, so I can't say if it's good or bad.
Yeah,
But I assume that if it's getting a fourth movie, it did well enough to warrant a fourth movie.
yeah. Apparently they're well beloved. Again, I've never watched them. They look cute. Not my cup of tea, but
They are
that's
cute. They are very cute.
maybe I should give them a shot. But you know what else is getting a reboot actually from the same company is Escape from New York, which if you don't know what that is, let us know in the Discord. I would love to hear your thoughts if you get to watch it after this. If you've not ever watched it, give it a shot. It's a very campy 80s movie. Um, you follow Snake Plissken, who is a ex special forces soldier that is a current federal prisoner, and he will be pardoned if he can rescue the president of the United States after he's taken hostage. New York is turned into a giant prison, so he has to go in, break in, save the president, and escape. Um, Super campy, super cheesy. I want to know your thoughts on it. Have you ever watched it?
Haven't seen the original, so
Oh.
isn't that no, but isn't that the character that Solid Snake is based on?
Yes, so he was definitely the inspiration for Solid
Isn't
Snake.
that there you go. So whoever takes the role has to warrant that into account too, I think.
Yeah, I'm real curious. I actually think at one point, if I remember correctly, and I remember my lore right, um, Hideo Kojima wanted Russell Crowe to play Snake, Solid Snake, and he turned it down, or he couldn't get him. And but I think he also had to change the name. So if I remember correctly, there's like hints and other ways of calling him Snake Plissken in the games in the originals, but he couldn't outright name him that. If I remember correctly, it's
I
it's
know in
uh
Metal Gear Solid 2, like he goes by the alias Pliskin. So that's a direct homage.
yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, that may be what I'm thinking of, but I I will say I've never watched the sequel, but I have watched the original. I think it's because the sequel didn't get reviewed super well, so I just never watched it.
Oh, that's
Um,
fair.
yeah, so the original is 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. The sequel is at a 57%. So
Oof.
yeah. But hey, that's it for the movie news. So TV news was incredibly slow. So we decided to do something a little bit different
Mhm.
this week and talk about our current favorite shows that are airing right now that we're watching. Andrea, I'll let you go first.
All right. I am currently watching the new season of Daredevil. Um, this last episode was a doozy, and I was screaming by the end of the episode. And actually, the beginning of the episode was really, really good too. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens next in Hell's Kitchen and with Daredevil and Karen and all them. So that is currently what I'm watching and enjoying very much.
Oh yeah, I am absolutely loving this season. I think it's on par with the original season series on Netflix.
It is. It is on par. Like they brought back the grittiness. They brought back the tense dynamic with the characters, you know. It's dark. Um and it really fits the tone and matches the tone of the original Netflix series. So,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. I know Jessica Jones is supposed to show up because she showed up in the trailers and they've been marketing her, so it's not a spoiler. So she's supposed to show up soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We still have like what, 4 more episodes?
Something like that.
So
Oh my gosh, we're halfway through.
yeah, we're halfway through.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it. Um, I so that was gonna be my show, but since you picked it, I decided to pick another show. And in honor of Cody not being here, I finally watched Wonder Man. Um,
Ha, yeah.
it's good. I like it. There's actually a scene in the show. I think it's almost in the halfway point, or if not after the halfway point. Maybe the next second to last episode. But there's a moment that has one of the best mini lessons on directing, and it's not even like, oh, here's how to direct a scene, but there's a director and he's running an exercise, and so he gives like this whole thing, and it's so good. Cause like I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's like there's this quote, and by no means is this a knock on any director, but there's a quote, and it's talking about Quentin Tarantino and David Lynch, and it's like David Lynch is a better filmmaker than Quentin Tarantino because if you give him the same movie with the same scene of someone's ear getting cut off, Quentin Tarantino is more focused on the act and the gore, while David Lynch is more focused on the implications of what it means for that ear to get cut off. And so this like that whole scene in Wonder Man is basically an exercise on what that saying. And it was really cool. Now again, it's not knocking Quentin Tarantino. I do think his movies have more depth to them than that quote's giving him credit for. But
Hmm.
I thought that was a fascinating quote because it really did tie to the scene. But yeah, it's good. Very short. It was way shorter than I expected. I
Well, originally it was supposed to be one of those short one and done series like what Marvel has done with other ones, but I think this one proved to be so popular that they ended up renewing for a second season.
It honestly, it took me a second to kind of lock into it. Like it took me a minute to really connect to it. And I think it's because it was slower than I was expecting. I didn't
Mhm.
know anything going into it other than what Cody had been telling me, and basically telling me I'm uncultured for not watching it. So, I was pleasantly surprised. I think by the start of the second episode, I was hooked. But yeah, I don't know what else to say other than yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's I mean, that's no easy feat.
I can't believe, though, that Ben Kingsley is 82. Like, he does not act like it.
I didn't realize he was 82. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's 82.
That is
Yeah,
that's insane. Um
that is crazy. He does not
Golly.
act like it.
No, no. Yeah, his acting career spanned over 50 years.
Mhm.
So he would have been what in his late 60s, early 70s. So he's 82. Yeah, like how old was he in
He's
2013?
done he's done yeah, in, 2013, so 13 years now, so 69 or something like that?
Yeah, he'd been close to 70 for sure. Somewhere in that ballpark. God,
Yeah.
wow, that is so crazy. So crazy.
I think a lot of people were not expecting this show to do as well as it did, and I think everybody was very pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, I know I was. I mean it's very good, but it was definitely like I mean, it's just it feels very indie, and the first thing I noticed about it was, like, just the cinematography choices and, like, title card choices. Like, it just felt very low budget and, like, very low budget, but very well put together, and it felt very indie,
Right.
and so it just kinda felt like Marvel was like, "Hey, just do what you want with it." And, yeah, I think it worked. Also, there's a cameo from Olaf from Frozen, and I did not. It just caught me off guard.
And a new side of Olaf that I don't think anyone's seen before.
Yeah, yeah. Um, no, yeah, it was good. I was trying to find the director. See the showrunner.
There's 2 directors. Yeah, there's 2 directors. There's Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest, and Destin's the one who's also responsible for Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and he's also doing Shang-Chi, and I mean, he also did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So, which also had Ben Kingsley in it.
Yeah, okay. That's why Brand New Day feels the way it does. That's it honestly just feels like an old school Hollywood production, like the way it's just shot, the editing choices, even the trailers are like so that's nice. That makes sense.
So, fun fact, he has also been tapped to direct and co-write a live action Naruto film.
Hey.
We'll see how that looks.
Yeah.
That is no mean feat. I hope it's good.
Yeah. That is not going to be easy, but more power to him.
Mhm. Hey, if he did Shang-Chi, if he did this well, maybe he can pull it off.
I I I feel confident he can.
Yeah. He's got a good eye.
Very good eye, very good track record, but cool. Oh, he did Oh, he worked on Tokyo Vice too. That's cool. That's a very good show.
Yeah, he's got a good track record.
Well, yeah, that's I'm excited for Spider-Man. Wonder Man was great. But yeah, I guess we'll end the podcast here. Where can they find you?
You can find me over on Instagram and on Discord at Andrea Riccati. And if you do, please be sure to say hi. I'm always happy to say hi and chat a little bit. Yeah, so Discord and Instagram.
All right, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube under at Different Lens Media. And again, I occasionally stream on Twitch, not very often. It's just when the mood hits me. But I stream under Sergeant Rock 1125. And remember, keep gaming and keep praying, and God bless.